So when did, so
Put your
you
hand up here.
had gone from Denver to March Airfield, or
March Air Force Base.
March Air Force Base? And that was when? That was,
That was in the fall of 48, because we were married in 48, and that was in the fall of 48. So we had gone from March Air Force Base up to Lowry, then back to March Air Force Base, all within that 1948 year.
And then we stayed at March Air Force Base until August of 49, when I was sent to school at Wright Patterson.
and when was Kent born?
Kent was born in June of 49. And I celebrated with another girl in the hospital on our first anniversary in the barracks type hospital. And that's when they kept us about a week in the hospital before they would dismiss us to go back home. So,
All right.
okay.
So with Kent, moved to Wright Patterson, and
Okay.
I wonder if we could start getting. I feel like I remember that Wright Patterson is the setting for some funny stories, but I'm not sure which ones they were.
I say just let them go through, they'll get to them.
Yeah. So
Okay, what can we tell them about Wright Patterson? Well, the thing that we liked most about Wright Patterson was that Dayton was located between Cincinnati and Wellsville. So we had the benefit of seeing our parents, and Kent had the benefit of seeing his grandparents. And at the end of the 2 years at Wright Patterson course of study, what assignment did you get then? Where did we go?
Well, as a graduation present, I was assigned to Newfoundland, and along with 6 other classmates, we were sent to Newfoundland to set up a procurement organization for the command that was up, the Air Force command that was there. We were supposed to be located in St. John's, Newfoundland, and support the bases that were scattered around the Greenland and northern Canada and Newfoundland. And when we got to St. John's, there'd been a new major appointed to run the organization, and he had decided that instead of all of us being in St. John, he was going to send us out individually to the different bases to be located at the base. And he had decided, looking at my records, he had decided I had the most experience of the group. So he sent me to Greenland, which was the furthest away and difficult for him to get up and supervise. So he felt that I was better qualified for that than anybody else.
he wouldn't have to check in on you so often.
Right.
So that was 1950 or 1951?
51.
51.
Uh-huh.
And I was supposed to be there a year. And I started operating. And of course, in Greenland, there was no place I could go to buy things that were needed at the base. So I would fly down to Montreal, to Halifax in Nova Scotia, Moncton in Nova Scotia, and do the buying there. And we were able to meet in Montreal at Christmas time with
Kent.
With Kent.
And with Mike in my womb.
Okay. So anyway, it was getting was getting close to the end of my assignment time, and the commander decided to close my office, and they couldn't justify having it there anymore. It was not working out right because of the distance. So I had to extend my tour up in Greenland for a couple of months to close the office and close everything out. An interesting side of that assignment was that when I got to Greenland, a young airman was assigned to work for me as a clerk. I had to teach him how to type. And I had to teach him, and we got along real well, and he was working hard to do the job and accomplishing it. And so we both were transferred out of there and went our separate ways. But back in the 1960s, I was stationed at Wright, Patterson on an assignment, and a receptionist came into my office and said there was a master sergeant out there that wanted to speak to me. Now,
Small world.
this was my airman, and he had stayed in the procurement business and was the head the master sergeant, head master sergeant in a procurement office at one of the Air Force bases. So I felt.
You had trained him well.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you were in Greenland for a total of like
14 months.
14 months?
No.
Yeah.
14
And, in that period of time, I was able to go up 3 times from Cleveland up to Montreal to meet him. And I had taken Kent with me one time, and the other 2 times I flew up by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was our first overseas assignment.
What was the name of the base in Greenland? Or
Louis West 1.
No, Narsarsuaq.
Narcissus.
But they called it Louis West 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.